Welcome to the Stellaris show. It is January 17, 2025. We are continuing our Civic tier list. We are doing all things tier list for Stellaris, I've decided. So after civics, we're going to do traits, and then I may do another tier list after that. And I've been thinking about it. I'm like, wow, I'm going somewhere with this. Maybe I should download these and edit them and make videos out of them. Maybe. We'll see. Let me know if you guys want that. I'm definitely going to make shorts out of it. Why not? There's a lot of material here to work with. And cut a lot of the bullshit out because, I talk too much. So I could probably simplify it and distill it down to where I only say the important stuff. Yeah, I'm sure people may want to watch a video like that. It just, in my experience, editing hour-long footage is a pain in the ass. Gonna be honest. So today, we're gonna continue. Anyway, I don't really have any announcements. Nope, no announcements. Nothing I want to share that I can think of. Okay, no. I do have, so I was playing Stellaris off camera for once. It's been a while. And I was doing really well. And today, not so well. And I'm reminded of why I don't really play it on my off time anymore. And why I made the video I made, my most recent video on how to save Stellaris. So, basically, what happened to me was I got countered. However, they were on the other side of the galaxy, and there's no way in hell that they could have realistically got that kind of intel on me and declared war on me when I had more fleet power than them. See, it really irritates me how the computer knows automatically if it can beat you or not. That has always irritated me. And it's like that in most games, unfortunately. It's not just Stellaris, but I think it's bullshit how the computer knows exactly if it can win or not. Because they declared war on me. But I thought I was sitting pretty. I thought I was pretty powerful. But unfortunately, due to mechanics in the game and things that are outside my control, I did not, my fleet was mostly destroyers and not cruisers. So anyway, yeah, I'm a little irritated about that. Not the, but you know what? It's cool. We're going to do this, guys. Not going to be playing. Just going to be going over the tier list. We're going to be finishing it. We're going to finish this tier list, and then after that, I'm going to decide what the hell I'm going to do. I may continue that game and try to make it work. I was doing really well, and I'm not really... I don't think I'm going to lose that much. Losing the war, it just... it's a black eye, and it just... I don't know, it just really turns me off to the game. Because I kind of... Yeah. Because I thought I was dominating, and then they did the typical. Somehow they countered me with energy siphon. See, this shit is. This is what I don't like about Stellaris, guys. The shit. I don't even know why I lost. I really don't. I don't know why I lost. The fleet battle report is so fucking confusing. I can't make heads or tails of what the hell actually happened. That I think that's actually what I want to bitch about right now. Is that battle report. Like, it's just a mess. It's a big mess. I just think the UI stuff could be so much clearer. But anyway, whatever. Sorry guys, having a bad day. Maybe I shouldn't be streaming, but you know what? I promised you guys, I told you guys that I'd be streaming. Told you guys I'd do the tier list today, so I'm going to do it. Anyway, so go to create new again. We're going to pull out these tiers. Now, today we are going to do Gestalt consciousness civics. Okay. So hive mind and robot or machine empire. If we have enough time, I don't think we will, but if we have enough time left over, and I think we can do it, we may extend it to Megacorp, and I might just include that in the video or in the stream. And then we'll be done with civics, and we can move on to traits next stream. But we'll see how long it takes. So starting with hive mind, we got aesthetic. Okay. So habitability is nice, but this is not worth even one civic point, not even a third civic. It's just 5% habitability. And amenities don't matter. You know, they're not worth picking a civic over. So, you know, easily can be fixed by hollow theaters or whatever. There is a hive equivalent of it, though it's not called hollow theater. But yeah, yeah, this is just F. I mean, unless you're like, you got to build that, like I said, F again, guys. F tier is not your bad if you use it. F tier is extremely niche. That's what it is. It has its uses, but they are very, very limited. So if you can find a use for it, you're not bad for using it. If you use it properly, if it's effective and it works with your build and your build works, either with the help of it or because of it, you know, that you're not bad. It doesn't make you a bad player just because you use this. So, but unless it's in the derp tier, then yeah, why are you using that, dude? Derp is useless. There is no use for it. There's really no justification or use for it. Now remember, this is a subjective tier list, so somebody might, you know, if you see something I don't, feel free to point it out in the comments. I have no problem being wrong. In fact, I often am wrong. You know what? It's just the way it is. But I try to call things as I see it. So let's go ahead and put that down. Okay. So I will show you guys the tier list at the end. Okay? I'll show you guys the tier list at the end. Let's go ahead and so we're at the right screen. Make sure the windows are correct. All right. So the next one is autonomous drones. Okay, change one base unity leader upkeep to 2 food or minerals. I guess if you're lithoids. I tried this once. Now, additional leader traits +1, that actually bumps it up a couple points. I think this is a C. The problem with this is, one, I don't think it's powerful enough other than the leader trait options. If you are making a leader build, then that might, and you're going Hive, but kind of, you know, you're going Hive, you might consider that an option, maybe a third Civic. But the problem is, this isn't really meant to be a third. This is meant to be a second or a first. And because really the only good reason to take this is that you don't want all that unity cost in the beginning of the game. So again, now because of the leader trait options, that is a very powerful modifier. So I'm going to give this a C. I was going to give it an F, but that bumps it up. But I don't think it's really worthy in being the B tier. Even with the leader trait options, I don't see this getting picked a lot. And the last time I tried this, the other part of this is, the last time I tried using this, I was in a food deficit forever. And it sucked. And it made me want to restart. I think I actually did restart. Not to mention, with those problems, it's probably there are better civics. Absolutely better civics that you can pick than this. So, but I don't think. I think the leader trade options, you might be able to do something with that. So we'll put in the C tier because that is a powerful modifier. And there is obviously gimmick and exploit potential in removing the unity cost of your leaders in the beginning of the game. I could definitely see that. So that's why we're putting it in C tier and not F tier. Okay. So the next one, quarter-septic drones. Now I've heard of a lot of gimmicks and exploits around this. I'm not really familiar with this particular Civic. I've just heard a lot about it. And this is the Space Fauna Civic, right? So if you're playing Grand Archive, I could see this being very useful. So yeah, I mean, so I'd say honestly, this is B tier. Not because I like it, but because I know a lot of other people do, and I know for a fact that a lot of people have used this to great benefit and have kicked ass with it. So, I mean, yeah, if you're doing, you know, it offers a pretty powerful playstyle, I think. You know, I've heard a lot of people rave about Grand Archive Space Fauna stuff. So, yeah. So I think definitely put this in the B tier. It's a solid pick if you're going with the right build. If you know what you're doing, it's good. Even though I don't really use it. If I use this a lot, I might put it in A or S. For me, you know, as personal preference. Because remember, this is subjective. So this is a subjective list at all as well. You know, as just a general list. Devouring Swarm, instant S tier, man. This is honestly probably the most funnest Civic on this list if you can make it work. You got to know what you're doing, but like if you yeah, this is the Hostile Empire for Hive Mind. Devouring Swarm, if you have never played it, you've got to play it. If you are a fan of the Zerg in StarCraft, if you are a fan of the Tyranids, the Orcs, or any other swarming, bug-like or swarm-like Empire faction in sci-fi tropes, you know, aliens, you got to get this. It is it's a must play. You got to play it at least once. You can get it from the Utopia DLC, which I highly recommend to anyone, even though it is overpriced right now. It does go on sale a lot, but you heard what I had to say about that in the in my last video. So S tier. Swarm. Go ahead and all right. So divided attention, Empire size effect minus 25%. This one's good, guys. I'm giving this a solid B tier, maybe an A tier. If you're just playing straight Hive Mind, you're not doing anything special, and you don't really care about what your civics, you can't really go wrong with this. This is like, I mean, Empire size reduction is super powerful no matter what type of build it's in. It will always be good for you. So it's really, yeah, there's no downside to having this. It's a very powerful modifier. It's not a must pick, so I can't put it at S, but it is, you really can't go wrong with it. So I actually don't even want to put it in B. I want to put it in A. I do. I think I will. I think, because this is just Empire size. It's not even from pops or anything like that. It's just across the board. So, yeah, this divided attention is really good. Solid pick. You really can't, and it, especially as a third pick. So, especially as a third pick. Because like later on, you know, your empire gets really big, and that's when you really need that size reduction. But then there's a lot of gimmicks and exploits potential that you can do with this, I'm sure. See, elevational contemplation. So we talked about the Ascension civics yesterday, and the problem with them is that they're just not powerful enough. Like Ascension itself is just not powerful enough to like base your build around. Normally. Now I'm sure there are gimmicks and exploits, sure. If you're making stupid amounts of unity, this will work. But again, the problem with this is that you have to take a civic point. This costs a civic point, so chances are the build that you have that makes stupid amounts of unity probably needs those civic points for that build and won't have enough space for this. That's the other problem with it. So we'll go ahead and put that in C tier. Elevational contemplations. Type that. Okay, empath. I really like empath personally. Empath is really good. It's just basically, you know, it's the diplomacy civic for Hive Mind. The other reason it's really good is that generally most biological empires have a negative opinion of Hive Minds. They get a negative bonus, or you know, they get a negative modifier for being a Hive Mind. This kind of balances that out. Yeah, it reduces the opinion penalty Hive Minds normally have with biological empires. So if you're a Hive Mind but you want to do diplomacy, which I have found myself in many times, I've found myself in that situation many times, definitely consider doing this if you're not doing anything special. So this is definitely solid B tier. I don't pick it every game, but it's worth picking if you want to do diplomacy as Hive Mind. It's pretty much the only way, really. Okay, so empath is B tier. Good bonuses too, for great bonuses for diplomacy, just like any diplomacy civic. You know, 2 available envoys is really good. Diplomatic weight's good. Trust cap plus 50 is good, and envoy improved relations. Now, that's not as high as the other as biological version, but it's still pretty good. So, yeah. Oops. So Genesis symbiotes. Okay, this is just the Genesis. You know, if you like Uplift and you want to be Hive Mind, this is the Civic you pick. This is their version of the Uplift Civic. So we'll go ahead and put that on B, because it's probably fun. I want to make sure that there isn't anything specifically different about this. It really doesn't look like it. It looks like everything is the same. So, and plus the terraforming bonuses are really good. And actually, this might be really, really good for Hive, because with this, you're going to be able to upgrade to Hive worlds really fast with this. And it's going to be less expensive. It's going to cost you 7,500 instead of 10,000. And that's significant. That's a significant energy credit savings right there. So really good on the economy once you get And also, you'll notice with these Hive Mind, these Gestalt civics, a lot of them have like node experience gain. That's actually really good, even though I'm not really going to talk about it that much. The real advantage to Hive Mind, to Gestalt empires, honestly, I think, is their council. The Gestalt council is far superior to most biological builds. I gotta say, even with the renowned leaders, it just doesn't compare. The traits are better. They never die. They level up often. Like, the traits overall are just more powerful. Really, I have never felt like biologicals ever out-competed Gestalts when it came to the council. Obviously they can't have renowned leaders, but you know what, guys? Hate to break it to y'all, but renowned leaders suck. They do. They fucking suck. I have never been impressed with the renowned leaders. One, a leader that rare shouldn't have a negative trait. That's ridiculous. And then two, I find most of the traits lacking. Pretty lacking. Pretty irrelevant to what I want to do. So, not every so often I find a renowned leader that I go, oh, you know, that's pretty cool. And then I put them in. But really, that's rare. And I can't really count on it. So, if you can't count on something, then you can't plan around it. So, that's why I have trouble with some of the strategies that I see on the internet for Stellaris. It's like, okay, that can work, but your odds of that happening are abysmal, right? So anyway, you got to consider that. Anyway, I'm going off topic. So, innate design. So this is basically natural design, just like with the biologicals. This, you know, cuts out the ascension path. So basically, if you take this, you're not taking an ascension path. But you are getting species bonuses front loaded to you. So your species are going to start out way more powerful than the empires around you. But you will not be able to ascend. So, you know, you won't be able to follow an ascension path. So later game, this stops being as useful, obviously. So this is probably, like I said, this is great in a rushing build, you know, build where you want to go really fast and you want to do most of your work in the early game. This is really good for that because it takes a long time usually for a normal empire, unless you are like synthetic fertility or cybernetic creed. It's going to be a long time before you start reaping the benefits of your ascension path that you choose, or can even go on it. But innate design's good. We'll give it a solid B. Absolutely is an option. So, memorialist, I think, so this is, I remember this being a stinker in the biologicals. Oh yeah. This is F tier. I'm not even going to talk about it. We did it. It was F tier last time, so I'm putting it there this time. But again, if you got something to say about that, you know, feel free to leave a comment if you think it doesn't belong. If you think it's more useful than I think it is. If you have a really good use for memorialist, please let me know. I would love to hear it because on paper this looks like, why is it a civic? Why am I wasting my civic on that? Let's see. Unemployed drones also produce research points. Okay, research alternatives +1. So this is kind of like technocracy for Hive. Solid B. You know, I mean, unemployed drones. Ideally, you don't want unemployed drones, but sometimes you're going to have a lot of them, so that will also be good. So yeah, I give it a solid B. It's definitely a good third pick for sure. Son of a... Hold on a second. I want to put this over. Okay. Natural neural network in the B2. Okay, so neural vaults. All right, this is the vaults of knowledge. So this is going to be A tier. Well, okay. The thing, I'm actually going to put this in B tier. The thing with Hive and going doing leader builds with Hive aren't really, I don't think, that much of a thing. I could be wrong because of the limitations of their council. You know, players that do lots of gimmicks and exploits with leaders tend to play biological. I could be wrong about that though, so we'll just put this in the B tier just to be safe. I really don't think it's as useful as it would be in a biological empire in the right build. So I don't think there's as much gimmick and exploits with this. So whatever. Vaults of knowledge, same thing. Neurovaults, okay. So one mind straight unity, 15% unity. Now, Hive Mind generates a shit ton of unity on its own, almost without you having to try. So this would still be a great third civic. Definitely going to go in B tier as well. You can't really go wrong with 15% of Hive unity. That's going to give you even more unity and more than an empire with less. So plus it, increases, and then the maximum leader traits. So yeah, one mind's all right. It's all right. It's an all right third pick. So one mind. Let me change this. Okay. So pooled knowledge. This is a good third pick. It's just straight goodness, kind of. Yeah, it's an okay third pick. We'll put this in B. It's not useless. Its stats are good. It's just there are usually better things to pick than this, even at the third level. But I think it's still valid. Cool. Okay, strength of legions. So army damage 20%, army upkeep minus 20%. That's decent. Starting experience, don't really care about that, though some people think that matters. Commander starting skill +2. That's decent if you're doing stuff with commanders. So this is it's just generally most of the time you're not gonna want to pick a civic just for armies. Armies aren't important enough to really make a civic around unless it's something special like, dread encampments, reanimators. But that does many more things besides just army stuff. So this is really just army bonuses, really. I mean, yeah, it helps your commanders. So I'm gonna put it in the C tier. It's not F. It's definitely not F. I mean, but really, unless you're really banking hard on armies for some reason, I don't really see you taking this. I really see you taking something else instead, if you know what you're doing. So we'll go ahead with your... And also, I've seen better than 20% damage, which is the only thing that really matters on that list, honestly, when it comes to that civic. That's really what you'd be picking it for, is that damage. And it's really not that high. So, wow, we're almost at the end already. So, subspace, I hate pronouncing this because it sounds like EFAPS. I actually think that's how you pronounce it. That sounds really bad. But you know what? Fine. FIPS, whatever. Subspace, the big E. There you go. So naval capacity 15%. All right. Don't think it's worth taking a Civic over. Sublight speed plus 20. Now, if you got nothing else going on, like say you pick Devouring Swarm has a ton of bonuses. So from there, like if you just wanted to do straight just combat bonuses, I mean, sublight speed's pretty good. Especially if you're kiting for some reason, though I don't think that works, but that's a debate for another time. So at least it doesn't work against the computer. And it's very difficult to micro in Stellaris. Let me see. Subspace CPAPs. Yeah. So the sublight speed is what you'd be doing it for. So I would give this a solid B, because it's not bad at all. It's really not. This, if nothing else, this is a great second or third Civic if you don't really have anything else to do, or if you just want better ships. That's going to be really good for you. So we'll put that in the B tier. Guys, we're making good time. We might be able to do Megacorp today. Okay. So, let's see. So the last one for Hive is Subsumed Will. So Empire Size from Pops is almost as good as just Empire Size in general. Plus automatic resettlement chance plus 50%. That could be extremely useful in certain situations. And though I don't know if it's worth picking a Civic over just for that. 25 Edict Fund, that's something to scoff at, but it's not like 100 or 50. It alone by itself, I don't think is going to make that big of a difference. So, and then you got the regulatory node, you know, the node bonus. And then it waivers all Unity cost for drone resettlement. That's not a really big deal. You're not going to notice that. But really, you'd be getting this for the Empire Size and the resettlement chance. And maybe the Edict Fund as well. But all around really good. This is a great second or third pick. Like, so, I mean, if you're just doing straight normal Hive Mind, but you want to do something like just straight normal Hive Mind, you're not doing Devouring Swarm, you know, you pick this up, you pick up a, the other one, forgot what it was. What is it? Divided Attention. Yeah, you pick those two up, you put them together. It's a pretty good combination, and maybe Empath if you want to do some diplomacy. Yeah, so Subsume Will. I'll definitely think that that's B. So a lot of B tier stuff here, guys. I can already tell you right now, they need more Hive Mind Civics. Absolutely. This is not enough. Because I got through this in 30 minutes, guys. Yeah, I got through this in 30 minutes. So, now I'll show you the tier list. Go to it. Alright. Nothing on the derp tier, so nobody won the derp tier, which is a good thing. There aren't any real stinkers here. Just either highly niche or somewhat niche. But sadly, we really didn't get any S or A tiers. Not really. We got one S tier and one A tier, but not really anything else other than that, which is kind of sad. So that this kind of points it home right here that we need more Hive content, guys. Paradox, we need more Hive content. Make that genetic DLC. Do it. Pull that trigger, man. Stop all that other dumb shit you're doing and just go straight for the genetic DLC. Do the same thing with genetics that you did with cybernetics and synthetics, you know, in Machine Age. Do the exact same thing. In fact, if you want to do psionics with it too, you can. But, you know, yeah, but it needs to be done. Hive Mind needs to be revisited. It needs to be added to, worked on. It's already great the way it is. I love Hive Mind. It's just it's been a while since it got any love. Let's give it some love, you know? Hive Mind's Hive Mind's a great playstyle. You know, it's actually pretty balanced too. Like, it's really powerful, but it does have weaknesses. And it has more weaknesses than the Machine Empires. It doesn't really feel like it's cheating. It just, if you feel like powerful, but you don't feel like you're cheating when you're playing Hive. Because you do have some limitations that you have to work around. And some challenges as well that you don't get when you're in biological. So, yeah. And there's still some things that you have to deal with that the biologicals have to deal with too. You're not just skipping things like with the Machine Empire. You know, like habitability, for example. You still have to worry about that as a Hive. So, but anyway, yeah. All right, we're going to machines now. But we have to pick our species. So, give me a second here. Let's pick our friendly neighborhood robot. There we go. There's our friendly neighborhood robot. All right. So we are going to... Now we're doing machine intelligence, okay? Astro mining drones. All right, guys. Remember, this list is subjective. This Civic pissed me off. Oh, man, it pissed me off. First, I thought this Civic was good. It looked good, right? I was like, ooh, I bet this is really fun. I go to do it. And about halfway through the game, after dealing with deficit after deficit, nearly going bankrupt over and over again, I finally reform my government and take it out. And my economy triples in 1 month when I took this out. And I was trying to bank hard on, you know, mining stations and stuff. Now, I don't know if I did. I might have. But if I did Habitat with it, if I did Void Dweller with it, that might have been a bad idea. So I might try this again someday. So, but I don't. But this is so unique and so interesting, even though it didn't work. And it performed really bad. I see there just seems to be a lot of potential in this. That, like, it's like I get the feeling when I look at this that, like, I'm either missing something or I'm playing it wrong. It's like one of those things where I think I'm playing it wrong, right? Or that it does really well. Like, you could really gimmick the hell out of this, and exploit the hell out of it. That's what I'm getting, though. I haven't seen any evidence or anybody say anything to that effect. So that's the other problem here. So, because of how unique it is, and you know, and the type of playstyle it offers, I'm going to put it in the C tier, not the F tier, because I really think this Civic has potential, but I have not, until I find a better way to use it, or someone else does, or I start hearing reports about it being used really well. And look, if you've used Astro mining drones really well and you whoop that game's ass with it, give me a comment. Tell me how you did it. I want to know. What did you do with this? Did this work for you? If Astro mining drones worked for you, if it actually worked for you and you could prove it, and you got a strat for it, you know, a build, I'd love to hear it. Please put it in the comments. But otherwise, we're going to put this in C tier. Hopefully that'll raise in tier someday if we figure out how to use it better. But as of right now, I can't think of anything. And to be fair, I believe I only tried it once, but really once was enough for me. I was like, holy shit, I'm never doing that again. That's how bad it was. That's how bad it performed. It was like, no. Okay, so built to last pop amenities usage minus 15%. Okay, this is going, I am straight pulling the lever on this, no thought, no question. Okay, I'm double checking here. Growth node, we're not counting that. Everything has a growth node bonus. So we're just going to ignore those. Pop minis usage, that is not worth a Civic, especially for Machine Empire. Holy shit, there are so many better ones. No, dude. What is it? Yeah, never pick this. Built to last is terrible. You never want to pick a Civic over that kind of a bonus. And it's just that. It's just that. Okay. No, dude. Hell no. Okay, Constructabot. So Constructabot is functional architecture. We're putting that in the B tier. Remember functional architecture, right? Basically, building slots for every planet, habitat in your empire. Good shit. Good shit. Can't go wrong with it. Great third Civic. Great third Civic. I don't think it's as popular in machine empires as it is in biologicals, but still, I mean, you know, the third Civic potential is off the hook. Though this will never be a first pick, you should always pick something better than that. There are better Civics, but you know, this is really solid all around for your third pick. You'll get a lot of real estate if you pick that. Okay, so delegated functions, leader pool size, don't care about that. Available envoys +1. This is a really disappointing Civic. I guess this is supposed to be for diplomacy. I mean, it gives you envoys. This is, I don't know, man. Even with the +1 envoy, I usually give high points for that, but like, wow, I would not take a Civic just for 1 envoy. Give me 2 or more. Leader pool size is nothing. I don't want to stick it in the F tier, but man, this is just I mean, it's at least F as far as diplomatic civics are concerned. It's almost not even worth taking. Yeah, no, dude. This is going in F. Maybe if you're just straight diplomacy and it's the only option, like on your third pick, maybe. Oh yeah, I gotta change my picture. Sorry guys. There we go. Back to this. Okay. So delegated function. Yeah. Okay. Delegated functions. That is getting. It's not gonna go derp, but yeah, low F. It just simply doesn't have enough. Like, the envoy's good, but there's just 1. Why would I pick up a Civic for 1? All the other... That makes no sense to me. All the other diplomatic Civics give you 2 envoys. And leader pool size don't mean shit. So, that just confuses the hell out of me. That Civic confuses the hell out of me. Alright, let's see. Okay, so... Determined Exterminator, G. I wonder where this is going. Straight S, man. S all the way, dude. Honestly, this is... Really, there's only one weakness with this build, with this Civic. Is that if you lose a war, it is permadeath. Okay, so it is a double-edged sword. Being able to immediately take their planets from permanently. And having no friends. Or virtually having no friends. Yeah. You know, you're often fighting the entire galaxy. You're basically, you know, and if you lose once, it's done. You don't get a second chance. So it's basically permadeath. That is really, other than that, I think Determined Exterminator really is the most powerful Civic in the game, where it's the most powerful build. And you can make some stupid build combinations with Determined Exterminator as well. Like, I believe you could pick up Void Dwellers now. And then there's all the Machine Age Civics that you can pick with it, like Arc Welders. Okay? That really bump it. Honestly, just the origins that it has access to make it better than Devouring Swarm. You know? So, it is high S tier. It is... I mean, I almost want to put another tier and say top. It's the GOAT, man. Really, I think really out of all of them, I'd have to, like, if I picked most powerful, most effective, most broken, really, like, other than the permadeath weakness, Determined Exterminators is just the GOAT, dude. It really is. I mean, some would argue, oh well, Rogue Servitor. Well, I mean, Rogue Servitor is kind of having a bad time right now. At least, you know, in regards to Void Forge. But I mean, no more Rogue Servitors. I mean, Rogue Servitor is good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's a reason a lot of people used to play it. But Determined Exterminator, especially after Machine Age, it's just only gotten better. I almost beat Admiral with this. That's the highest difficulty I've ever played legitly. Like, no gimmicks, no exploits. I just played Determined Exterminator normally, and I almost won. They beat me like in mid to end game, but I was doing all right. So yeah, Determined Exterminator, really powerful. If you've never played this build, think the Reapers from Mass Effect. You're playing those. You're playing, I guess, somewhat the Necrons, though they don't really fit. Really, you'd be playing Skynet from Terminator. Skynet from Terminator, the Reapers from Mass Effect. That's an example of what Determined Exterminator is. Basically, you know, the Men of Iron in Warhammer 40k. So I am definitely going to make a Men of Iron Civic at some point if I haven't. I mean, build at some point if I haven't. That'll be fun. So yeah, the machines in the Matrix. Well, I don't know. The machines in the Matrix, yeah, they do want to. They technically don't want to eliminate humanity, but really they do. Well, they want to enslave humanity, I guess, is more accurate. So, but I think really the machines in the Matrix are closer to Determined Exterminator than they are to Driven Assimilator. But they're a little bit more gray than like the Reapers or whatnot. Anyway, let's keep going. Did I type? Yeah, I did. Okay. So what's the next one? Let's see. Oh, by the way, most of the things that Fnatic Purifier can do, Determined Exterminator can also do, including the Armageddon bombardment stance, which is really cool. So yeah, I mean, basically, Determined Exterminator is also the only other genocide simulator civic in existence, other than Fnatic Purifier. Let's see, so diplomatic protocols. Now, this is the other reason delegated functions is a total stinker, because why would you pick that when you can pick diplomatic protocols, which is basically the straight diplomacy civic, and it's actually pretty good. Now, I think the biological is still better by like 25% on the improved relations, but it's better than the Hive Minds version, for sure. Though the Hive Mind says 50 on the trust cap, so that might be something to look at. But yeah, this is good if you want to do diplomacy. Great for Rogue Servitor, right? You know, Rogue Servitor is your friendly neighborhood robot, right? He loves people. The Rogue Servitor loves them biologicals. So yeah, when you're playing a Rogue Servitor Empire, this is usually your second pick. Second or at least third. But honestly, I'd pick it second. I'd pick Rogue Servitor and then this for your average Rogue Servitor build. If you're just playing it just to play it, if you're not doing a gimmick or exploit or something. So diplomatic protocols, that's straight B tier, just like any of the other diplomatic ones. Oh man, and the next one is so going S. You know it is. Now, Determined Exterminator might be the most powerful, but this one is the funnest and possibly the most powerful. I don't know. It rivals Determined Exterminator in a lot of ways. I honestly, I have a hard time saying Determined Exterminator is the best when Driven Assimilator exists. I recently beat a game with this, and it was very rewarding. I mean, you guys watched me do it. You know, I had a pretty successful game there, and just about every time I've played Driven Assimilator, just about, I've had a successful game. I've actually had more successful games, like Driven Assimilator has a better record for me than Determined Exterminator does. And the reason for that is that while you're not doing the Genocide Simulator, you still take their systems immediately upon capture, just like with the Determined Exterminator. And also, you don't purge. You do something even better with the Driven Assimilator. Instead, you get their pops automatically. No happiness bullshit. No instability other than while they're assimilating. But once they're assimilated, not only are they yours, but they're also cyborgs. They all get that cyborg trait. And they are completely subservient. There's no factions, there's no BS. Like, you basically steal them. Basically. You basically mind control them. Literally, you are. So, you really are. So, yeah, Driven Assimilator is super powerful. That just, it makes it stupid overpowered. So, if you're Driven Assimilator and you take over an empire straight from the beginning, like, say one actually spawns like 4 jumps away from you, that's actually a situation you want. Because if you beat them, you get their capital, you get all those pops, and they're all yours. They're not rebellious. They don't cause stability issues. You know, you have, after the assimilation, you have no stability issues, and you are producing full resources. You basically just doubled your empire. And you basically, you know, orders of magnitude every time you assimilate a new empire. This is the ultimate snowball civic, snowball build. Really, there's nothing that compares to the snowball capability of Driven Assimilator. So anyway, yeah, I can't praise this civic enough. One of, if not the best civic in the game. And not to mention, the RP is off the hook. Everybody loves the Borg. Everybody does. This is the Borg. If you want to play the Borg, Driven Assimilator. Assimilation's in the name, right? Yeah. Amazing. Amazing RP. Amazing power. You know, obviously, just like Determined Exterminator, it shares one weakness, and that is permadeath. If you lose a war, that you are pretty much done. They are going to wipe you out. You know, and you won't be able to stop it. Yeah. Barring a couple unique circumstances. Very rarely do you stay in the game if you start losing. It's really difficult. Yeah, you don't want to lose when you're playing a Total War Empire. It means death. You know, Devouring Swarm, Determined Exterminator, Driven Assimilator, you know, Fnatic Purifier. Yeah, you cannot lose. You cannot lose a single war when you're playing those. Let me see. Okay, no chats. Just making sure. All right, Driven Assimilator. Elevational Hypothesis. We already discussed why Ascension Civics aren't really that good. Let's see. Yeah, a good third pick at best. You definitely don't want to. There's usually better things to surround your build around. Experience cache. So this is Vaults of Knowledge for machines. So experience cache, that'll go in the B tier as well. So just like with Hive Mind, leaders aren't that as powerful in machine empires as they are, or any Gestalt empire as they are in biologicals. Potentially. Though overall, I think their council's way better. Gestalt councils are way better, way superior, on average. Okay, factory overclocking. You know, this is the leader one, so we'll go ahead and put that there. That one's all right too. Can't go wrong with it. Great third civic. You know, more scientists, more research, more, you know, more officials. Yeah. Genesis Architect, so this is the uplift civic for machine. So that's uplifting for machines. And then let's see. Introspective. So 20% research, engineering research is considerable. This is a possible third pick civic, though encryption is dog shit. It's just invisible. It's an invisible stat. So really, you're just picking this for the engineering research. Like I said, this at best is a third pick. I would never pick this as my first or second. Just if I have nothing else to do. I can't think of anything else. So that's going to go in C tier. It is good. It's just almost everything is better. But at least it's the good research, the kind of research you'd want. If it was society, I would put it in F tier. Let's see, so got Gross. Okay. Maintenance protocols. This is a staple for a lot of machine empires, for a lot of builds. A lot of my builds have this in it. For me, is a required second and third. The thing of it is, if you don't pick this, you will have Unity problems the entire game. If you pick this, you won't. I never do. I have great Unity when I pick this. But it's like an on-off switch for your Unity, basically. If you don't care about Unity, or if your build doesn't give a shit about it, then you don't need to get this. But if every other build, this needs to be there somewhere, at least as a third Civic, but really, I wouldn't put it in third because it takes too long to get that third Civic. Yeah, this is straight A tier, man, just simply because how required it is. It doesn't look that powerful, but really it adds up. It's essential. It's essential, but it's not, it's not a spectacle, right? It's not awesome. Like, it's not super fun. It doesn't completely change your build. So it's not an overhaul or anything. So yeah, it's gonna go in the A tier, but it'll never be S tier. It's a secondary. It's basically one of the best secondaries for Machine Age. Yeah, mains protocols. Really, I pick that almost every time now. Honestly, when I'm playing Machine, it's just too good. I can't really pass it up. So Memorialist, we'll just put that in F tier. Already talked about it. Okay, actually, I'll just put Machine next to it. All right, now we're going to go to OTA updates. All right, so this is empire size reduction. So 15% from pops. Automatic resettlement. So this is similar to the Hive Mind version, except the bonus is a little bit less. So we'll put this in, I think we'll put this in B tier. That's where I put it at. I think it's the Machine's version of Subsume Will. Okay, so OTA updates. Yeah, so if you want to reduce your empire size with Machine, that's one of the ways you do it. And then, let's see, Obsessional Directive. So it activates a situation Well, completion if production targets are met. Okay, so I have a hard time judging this Civic. I might have to try this because can't have the Warbot Civic, but it can do everything else. So commodities consolidation, I guess I could look that up really quick. But really, it's kind of hard to judge this. I've never tried it. But if it's a situation, it's probably interesting. So, based on the headlines I'm seeing, it's not looking good whether or not this thing's good or not. A lot of people are saying it's bad. Just base value what I'm seeing, but I'm gonna look at it in the wiki and see what it means. Okay, so okay, this is a repeated situation for empires with the obsession. Situation starts at 19 progress and ends with monthly progress. Meets every 10 years. Quota goods production. Huh. Or a single random research type. Okay. I definitely do not think this is F. I know I didn't read all of this, guys. I'm not gonna. But based on what I've read here, I actually do think I need to try this at some point. It's not super interesting, but it might actually be really good. But I have to test it. I have to test this out. So, but it's definitely interesting. Not sure if it's really, interests me a lot, but based on what I'm reading, it looks like it might be good. So until I can test this and make a real verdict on it, I definitely am not putting in the F tier. This is just for the uniqueness of this Civic, I'm gonna put it in at least a C tier. Sessional directing. So, rapid replicator. So this is a great second or third pick. This is going A tier. This is very powerful. It is. I used to pick this all the time before I found maintenance protocols. Yeah, we'll put this in A tier. I mean, you really can't go wrong with this or maintenance protocols. A lot of people do prefer it, actually. Yeah, this is a favorite for a lot of other people too. So that's the other reason I'm putting it in the A tier. Though I prefer maintenance protocols. But if you were just making a machine, you weren't doing determining exterminator or assimilator, you ought to just get both of these. No reason not to, if you're just making a normal machine. Intelligence. But people rarely do that. Usually if you do machine intelligence, it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of hard not to pick the Big Mac, Big Mac being those overhaul civics. Like, why be normal machine intelligence when I can be a rogue servitor or a determined exterminator or one of the fun ones, right? It's just regular machine empire is kind of boring. At least that's my opinion. Remember, subjective, yes, but I think a lot of people share my opinion about that. Well, let me ask you guys, if you think, if you're one of those people that plays normal machine empire, not biological machine, you know, like with the machine age. I mean, just straight machine intelligence, no overhauls whatsoever. In other words, no rogue servitor, no derivative simulator, no determined exterminator. If you like to play machines, machine intelligence without any of those, hit up the comments section and let us know. Let us know why you do that. You know, what's your, you know, why you prefer that. Not in a shaming kind of way, but just, you know, I genuinely want to know if, you know, what's the upside to doing that. You know, why is it fun for you? That's kind of what I want to know. Why is it fun to you? You know, what makes it fun for you? So, because for me personally, obviously, I think it's kind of boring, right? I mean, to just play with that, and not do one of those other ones. However, I mean, when you do pick one of the overhauls, that is a civic that you can't put into something else. So that is valid. So Rock Breakers, now Rock Breakers is, I'm going to put that in B tier. I mean, that's just, though not as powerful with machines, but still, the extra minerals, it'll still pay off. But usually you're picking something better. Honestly, it's a great third civic, if nothing else. So, I mean, if you can't think of anything else and you're having like mineral problems, you know, maybe you got screwed with your planets or something, you know, you're playing a normal machine intelligence, you can't go wide, or for whatever reason you can't go wide and you're getting screwed on minerals, then yeah, you might want to take this as a third civic, or just if you can't think of anything. So yeah, great third civic. I would not, very rarely are you going to want to base a build around this, especially as a machine empire. And usually there are better picks. They're almost guaranteed to be better picks. All right, the famous rogue servitor. Obviously, this is S tier, just because of how fun it is or has been. You know, major respect points, major RP. It's an overhaul civic. Really, I really just do not put overhaul civics below S. Not really, most of them, other than like Inward Perfection, but you know that's an exception. But like, you know, especially the Gestalt overhauls and you know the Hostile Empire ones, they're too unique, too fun, and too different to, you know, they're kind of works of art. There's nothing else in the game like them, so it's really hard to say they're stinkers in any way. But they fundamentally, they add so much flavor to the game. Yeah, it's just, the game would definitely be missing something without these civics, I'm telling you. And if you play these civics for the first time, you won't regret playing them. Honestly, every single one of them. Honestly, I haven't really played Inward Perfection, but every other overhaul civic, you know, where it just completely changes the way you play, you know, drills you into a certain playstyle that's unique from all others, I have not been dissatisfied with a single one. The only one I've struggled with is Fnatic Purifier, but I conquered that, you know, this year. Every other one's been great. Now Rogue Servitor has its problems in, you know, with Void Dwellers, but I think if I just did normal Rogue Servitor, I'd be fine. So yeah, Rogue Servitor is amazing. Well, for one, it's one of the few friendly ways you can play a machine empire. It's the friendliest way. Also, it has the best unity gain out of all the different playstyles for machine. It goes from sucking at unity, which is the default state of machine empires, sucking at unity, to having nuts and tons and tons and tons of unity. So that's its thing. You get stupid amounts of unity when you're playing Rogue Servitor. And then you get all the benefits of being a machine. The other really awesome thing about Rogue Servitor that's absolutely awesome is you get to have machine worlds and arcologies at the same time. It's the only machine It's the only Civic that allows you to do that as a machine. All the other ones, you have to have a machine world. You cannot make arcologies, but with Rogue Servitor you can, and it is as powerful as it sounds. I've done it. It is amazing. You know, if you don't have biotrophies on the planet, just make it a machine world. If it's got biotrophies on it, make it an arcology. Tons of resources, just stupid amounts of stupid amounts of economy. Yeah, super powerful. So yeah. Yeah, Rogue Servitor, and it's a legend, man. Rogue Servitor is a straight legend. Anybody who's played Stellaris for years knows about the Civic. It is super famous. It was in the meta. It was top meta for many years amongst the PvP community, and just about there was a time where almost everybody was playing this and nothing else, basically. Every single person was playing Rogue Servitor. Yeah, it got like that at one point. So Sovereign Circuits, this is lame for the same reason that Autonomous Drones is lame. Except it's actually even worse because running out of food, you can band-aid that with energy credits. But if you run out of energy credits, you are screwed. You are just screwed. Yeah, that's an economic collapse right there. So no. So spyware directives. Spyware directives, code breaking. Oh, yeah. Envoy's okay, but no. Oh, trust cap minus 25. Just a huge red flag. Yeah guys, I think we've got a winner for the derp tier here. Espionage is the worst feature in Stellaris. It really is. I really think it is. It is the most underdeveloped, most underpowered, most useless feature in Stellaris. Does not do its function whatsoever. It's the most ineffective feature in Stellaris. So making a Civic around that is a bad idea in my opinion. And again, this is subjective, but man, I tell you, I can place a bet that a good portion of the Stellaris community agrees with me here. Espionage, very bad. And just like delegated functions, yeah, that envoy's good, but nah, dude. This, just because espionage is so bad. So, so spyware directives. Derp tier. Waste of a Civic. It actually wouldn't be derp tier if it didn't have that minus trust cap. That minus trust cap, that's untenable. That is unplayable. That is not unless you are not doing diplomacy at all, but even then there are way better things to pick. Yeah, no, it's just nope. I would never pick this. I would never pick this in any situation. There will always be something better to pick. So static research analysis, technocracy for machines. So go ahead and put that in the B tier. Might actually be a little better. Let's take a look at it, because I think it is a little different from the others. So the cognitive node starts with an extra trait, so that's decent. Nope, code breaking garbage. Nah, it's about the same. Okay, B tier, fine. Tactical algorithms. Okay, so what's going on here? Now, commanders start with tactical algorithms trait, can trade commanders to other empires, can create mercenary enclaves, start the game with military academy. Okay, so if you like mercenaries, this will probably be A tier, S tier. I don't give a fuck about mercenaries. So I'm putting this in the C tier. And I would put it in the F tier, but that intel gain, that base intel level is pretty nice. but I wouldn't. It would at best be a third Civic, especially if I was doing mercenaries. But especially if I wasn't, I probably wouldn't pick it. So, yeah, tactical algorithms, that'll be C tier. If you like mercenaries, it's a good one. Might actually be required if you want to do that with the Machine Empire. Unitary cohesion. Now, we talked about how you have unity problems, so this might be a good third Civic. Just the thing of it is, why pick this when you can pick maintenance protocols? So I really have got to put this in the C tier. And it's simply not going to be good enough to make up for the enormous deficit you'll have if you don't pick up maintenance protocols as machine. Warbots. You know, this is Strength of Legions. We'll put that in the C tier. Don't really want to make civics centered around armies unless you're doing something funny or testing something. However, I will say this. Warbots actually is high C tier, and let me tell you why. Because Warbots with Mega Warforms, that is some serious destruction right there. Okay, that is... The machine empires have the best ground troops out of any empire type, period. Mega Warforms are hacks. They are absolute hacks. You know, battle frame army, yeah, you could get G-More army, but battle frame army is way easier to get. It's way easier to get. They're almost as powerful as G-More army. You get them right away, and you get them really quickly too, really early in the game. That's the other thing that makes Determined Exterminator so powerful. Its armies are just insane. You know, basically you're fighting Skynet. You know, those huge machines in Terminator Salvation. Yeah, Mega Warforms. But yeah, you get Mega Warforms with Warbots. This might actually be a decent third pick if you're having troop problems. You know, if they have like a lot of defenses on their planets and stuff, you can just get Mega Warforms, pick up this Civic, and definitely make it work. There are other things too. There are other really good trait picks that you can pick for synthetics. That raised the damage by 100%. So that combined with this might also be a good thing. So this is high C tier, I think, because it's actually more useful to a machine than it is to a biological or a hive. Because the machine has way better, you know, ground troops than any other empire type. I'm sure somebody will try to correct me. I don't think anybody is. I think most people agree with that, I would think. But if you disagree with me, let me know. Maybe I missed something. Maybe there's a unit that... Now, I'm not talking about those special hard-to-get RNG units. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about units that you get by default if you know, through normal technological means. In other words... You don't have to rely on RNG at all. You will get that at some point if you're playing that empire. So I'm not talking about giant skeletons. I'm not talking about Yankee. I'm not talking about any of that stuff or Titan, you know, Titan forms or, you know, Titans or anything like that. Those are really hard to get in this. It's really hard to get in a situation where you can consistently make those in massive quantities. So basically, I'm talking about any ground troop you can make in massive quantities. You know, your standard ground troops. Machines are the best. They have the best stuff when it comes to ground troops. So zero waste protocols. Let's see, zero waste protocols, robot upkeep, building and district upkeep, ship upkeep. Okay. I'm not going to put this in the F tier because I've actually used it before. I was hurting on my economy and this fixed it. This helped me. it saved me. This Civic saved me. I was desperate. I was in a bad situation, guys. So I had my third Civic. I'm like, I really don't see anything I need here. So I'm picking this one because I am hurting right now. So, and it did make the difference. So yeah, in some situations, zero waste protocols is what you're going to need. I mean, minus 5% ship upkeep. You think minus 5 is nothing, and usually it is, except this is minus 5 of your ship upkeep. And boy, let me tell you, especially later in the game, just 5% could be like 3,000 energy credits. You know, it could be like 500 energy credit game. You know, just that alone. And then building district upkeep. I mean, this is just saving you so much resources the bigger you get. So this is basically, you want to pick, this is the third pick. You should never pick this as part of your build. Never. This should be something. This is either a response civic, like, you know, basically a niche. You're picking this in response to a situation. So that will be C tier. Because it has saved my butt before, so it is useful. And I was grateful for it. I don't regret picking it either. I wish there was something better I could have picked, but there wasn't, and it got the job done. So, yeah, this has the potential to save your ass. It can work. So yeah, but it's not very powerful, and there's usually almost always something better to pick. So yeah, very situational, but good in that situation. So see. And that's it, guys. Let me see here. So it's 120 right now. Let's look at Megacorp and see how. Let's look at Megacorp and see how many. I just simply do not think we have enough time to cover all these. I really don't. Not before the 2-hour mark, and I really, and honestly, guys, I'm kind of tired. I told you guys at the beginning, I was in a bad mood, so I think I just need to relax. In fact, you know what, guys? I hate to do this, but tomorrow I'm taking a day off. Okay. Or at the very least, I might. So tomorrow is tentative. That's what I'll say. Tomorrow is tentative. I may or may not be on. But I should be on in the next 2 or 3 days. But I need a little bit of time off. I think I need a little bit of time off to rest and just do stuff. Kind of just I don't know, relax. We'll see. We'll see, but definitely soon we're going to continue, and we will continue with Megacorp on the next stream in the next few days. So, but tentative for tomorrow. I'm only going to be on tomorrow, guys, if I feel like it. If I feel good. But if I don't feel good, if I don't feel up to it, I'm going to skip. So, and I'm actually within my rights to do that anyway, but I just I figured I'd be transparent with you guys, for those of you that were expecting me to come out with this. Anyway, you guys have a good one, and I will see you next time. Actually, wait, oops, we forgot to review the list. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. All right, so we actually have 2 derps today. So the two losers are Built to Last and Spyware Directed. And then the winners are the S tier, Devouring Swarm, Determined Exterminator, Driven Assimilator, and Rogue Servitor. Surprise, surprise, right? A tier is Divided Attention, Maintenance Protocols, Rapidly Replicated. Very good ones. Both Hive and Machine Empire. B tier is Cordycepic Drones, Empath, Genesis Symbiotes, Innate Design, Natural Neural Network, Neural Vaults, One Mind, Pooled Knowledge, Subspace EFAPs, Subsumed Will, Constructabot, Diplomatic Protocols, Experience Cache, factory overclocking, Genesis architects, OTA updates, rock breakers, and status research analysis. So there's a lot of B tier stuff to do. A lot. Honestly, there was a lot more mediocre Hive civics than mediocre biological civics. And then mediocre, mediocre machine civics. So, and then for C tier, we have autonomous drones, elevational contemplations, strength of legions, astro mining drones, elevational hypothesis, introspective, obsessional directive, sovereign circuits, tactical algorithms, unitary cohesion, warbots, and zero waste protocols. And then for the F tier, we have ascetic, memorialist, delegated functions, and memorialist for machine. And that's it, guys. I hope you have a good day or night, wherever you are, and I will see you again.